I've left my blood, sweat, and tears on scenes, and that's why I'm so passionate about running for sheriff to lead this agency into the future.
Jim Priester is running for sheriff. Daryl Moody has the story.
Sergeant Priester has served in the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office since 1996. Now he questions his boss's fiscal responsibility.
Since 2020, the sheriff's budget has increased an additional $38 million per year. That's nearly half what the budget was in 2020.
Priester vowing greater transparency if elected.
I will hold open meetings with the public in order to get feedback from you to make sure we're doing everything we can to serve you better. Within the agency, I will implement workforce meetings at every level to discuss how we can make the agency more effective and efficient.
Priester says he'll also restore integrity to the sheriff's office.
As first responders, we often encounter folks at some of their lowest points in their lives. It is our job to do the right thing for the right reasons, even when no one is watching. I will also start a social responsibility unit to ensure we will help the most vulnerable of our community, focusing on veterans with PTSD, seniors with Alzheimer or dementia, autism, our homeless community, and those suffering from mental illness or addiction.
Priester is also a fourth-generation law enforcement officer. I'm Daryl Moody reporting.
This local news is a service of your hometown Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
It's pretty black and white. You have a tree protection zone and you stay out of it, period.
The county is planning to build a 3.5-mile asphalt trail along the Matanzas River in St. Augustine South on Shore Drive. County officials say they've planned carefully for this and no trees will be harmed. Concerned residents hired arborist Danny Lippy, and his report says otherwise.
From what I saw, no attempt at tree protection zone establishment was done. Now, these trees aren't veteran trees, so it's within the law that doesn't have to be done. But that doesn't mean that the trees, just because they don't reach a certain veteran status, aren't important and don't need to be protected. And that path is going to be right within the tree protection zone of many, many large live oak trees, laurel oak trees, which are really sensitive to this kind of work.
According to Lippy's report, as the tree roots grow, it will cause lifting and buckling to the asphalt trail.
Even if they cut roots, let's say the trees survive, they're still damaged, and the tree is going to try to recover by putting roots out. And you can see the effect of that in Vale Point Park and Shores Park, where they did the same methodology with the asphalt, and already those sidewalks are suffering damage, and then that's no longer ADA compliant.
The official plan is for the trail to meander around the trees, but Lippy's not convinced.
But in the areas where there are dense clusters, they're going right through all that stuff. And even if they are meandering, they have to have that calculated tree protection zone to show that they're meandering enough.
His report says that while there may not be short-term damage, it's been his experience that it may take a while to set in.
And so the misconception is, well, we do this all the time, the trees lived, and that's just not the case. It's very short-sighted to think that there's no harm done.
Shore Drive is in District 3, and I spoke to Commissioner Roy Alamo.
We've had some really great meetings with regard to the Shore Drive Trail. I've continued to meet with residents. I've heard from both sides, and we continue to work with staff and engage with people in the community, and this will be coming before us on March 5th to place the bid out.
During St. Augustine's monthly First Friday Art Walk beginning on Friday, March 1st, an exhibition will be on view at the Crisp Ellard Art Museum in St. Augustine entitled A Landscape Longed For, The Garden as Disturbance. Julie Dickover is the director of the Crisp Ellard Art Museum at Flagler College.
It was curated by two outside curators, Laura Navoa, who is a curator and arts administrator based in Miami, and Adler Guerrier, who is a visual artist based in Miami. They've worked really hard on this show, and it has some really wonderful work. There's 15 artists included in the exhibition, and they come from all over the country.
She says much of the detail in the exhibition has been carefully thought out to reflect the future.
Laura, the curators, are inspired by the writings of Jamaica Kincaid, who is a gardener and a lay horticulturalist, who wrote about, just the different feelings of joy and amazement that she felt with cultivating her garden. And so really what they're thinking about in the curation of the show and identifying artists who share that same sort of sense of joy and amazement.
The tour will begin on Friday, March 1st at 5 p.m., and more tours will take place through the end of the exhibition on April 20th. For St. Augustine's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
And now you're up to date on St. Augustine's Local Morning News. I'm Liz Ryan.